phrase, we've all seen the phrase startup nation enter into popular lexicon, and for good reason, because we are one startup nation, and we will continue to be one. The next speaker is an integral part of the team behind the book that spawned that infamous phrase, startup nation. Please welcome Terry Kassel.
So I'm now literally between you and lunch, and I can smell it, and I don't believe that the falafel is not ready. I'm just going to, Ido asked me to come and talk with you very briefly about what we're doing to turn the Startup Nation brand, which I believe we've all agreed is kind of what Israel is standing for these days, and take that promise. Somebody in the marketing group said that a brand is a promise, and the brand, we think, is innovation and creativity and grit and persistence, and what we've been trying to think about is how to turn that into something more palpable. So here's the thing. I work with Dan Senor at a hedge fund called Elliott. I work with Paul Singer and Dan Senor at a hedge fund called Elliott, and we've been trying to cook up for the past year or so what we could do that would be a differentiated contribution to working with the brand Startup Nation and building on it. And what we decided to do, and it's in very early stages, it's really design and development stages, is to build a physical space in Jerusalem, probably, an Israel-based space, where we are able to project, teach, convene, catalyze, be sort of the gem of Israel as it relates to innovation, attract emerging nations, business leaders, academics, NGOs, entrepreneurs, and teach the tools, the special sauce, the magic dust that Israel has to offer with respect to innovation. Ido said to me the other day that really the brand for Israel is creativity, and Israel should be on the map as the Israel creative brand. And what we want to do is now convert the Startup Nation book, which has legs, but a book only has so many legs. It doesn't go as far as an institute. It doesn't go as far as a movie. So we're working on a documentary, which is fully funded, that will hopefully continue to catalyze the work of Startup Nation. But documentaries also only have certain legs. Very limited audiences see documentaries. So we're also cooking up a feature film. Apparently there really hasn't been a feature film that's been seductive about Israel since Exodus. And so we're working on a romantic comedy set in Israel. It's hard to get a movie, even if you have the funding, to be the right movie. And so we're working hard on that. And then the third piece, of course, is the conference, the prize, the physical space, the programs, the outreach to emerging nations and to developed nations, because what everybody is looking for, and it's not just America, it's not just Israel, but everybody around the world is looking for growth. Everybody around the world is looking for job creation. And what Israel has been able to do is keep their economy growing, notwithstanding the 2008 crash. They were not much affected by it. What Israel has been able to do is build jobs through innovation, and what we know is that innovation is the largest engine for jobs. And so we want to move along the Startup Nation brand and invest in it. Interestingly, and this is the last thing I'll say so you can get back to lunch or go to lunch, there is no Stanford School of Innovation or Design in Israel. There is no Haas, Berkeley entrepreneurship program. There is no Babson, there is no San Diego, there is no MIT, there is no iLab. Startup Nation doesn't have an address. Startup Nation is in people's minds, in people's persistence, in their grit, in their garages, in their basements, in their tiny little spaces. Every time someone calls Dan Senor on the phone and says, by the way, I want to go to Israel, can you please give me the address for Startup Nation? He takes them to Better Place. Because Better Places at least has bricks and mortar on the ground, and it's a kind of a cool place, and you get to ride around in a car. But that shouldn't be all we can do for Israel and for Startup Nation. So we're not looking for funding, and we're not looking for ideas right now because we're loaded with ideas. What we are looking for is getting it right. So we've begun a landscape assessment of what exists already on the ground. We don't want to be repeating anything else. And there are a lot of great entrepreneurial programs. Some of them are in Israel attached to Zelle or Milken, a whole bunch of others. But we're hopeful that this is going to launch. We're hoping for a global conference, and that will probably be the first beginning indicator. And we'll let you know when the documentary is out, and read the book, and we'll be working with all of you. Thanks.